good, baby? I'm right here with Aristotle Investment.
Probably see you and they got with you. Hey, what's up? It's your girl, Big Glow, and I'm right here with my boy Aristotle.
Let's get it.
He about to teach me about these dividends and saving money.
It's your boy DC Young Fly, man. I'm here with my boy Aristotle.
Shout out to Aristotle. I took his class.
Man, this dude is the truth, dog. He just put me on game on like investments, dividends, stock market.
I sit around with a bunch of my friends and we talk about stocks all day now.
Man, I'm telling you, man, it's crazy, stupid knowledge, you dig?
I've learned so much. Aristotle has put my trading level on top.
I done learned so much about stock trading, options in particular. It's really changed my whole life and concept about money and investing.
This dude taking people off the corner, man.
I can honestly just say that, like, before Aristotle, dude, I was trading off of impulse. A little bit of stuff I learned off of YouTube. But this package, it's the real deal. It'll get you trading off of real facts. You'll be able to back check, and you'll be able to know what you're doing, not just jump in because you think it's right.
I really should go check out this campaign. We really got something going on. Y'all know me, I'm trying to get my 100 M's any kind of way I can. Yeah.
This is Aristotle Investments, and welcome to Stock Sundays, where I go over a recap of last week's top news you may have missed, option trade recaps and strategies I take, important data and earnings to look forward to, a watch list for next week, and if you stay to the end, I do a live Q&A and tap in.
What's going on? What's going? It's your boy Aristotle, Full Throttle R with the RAR. Check me out, check me out. First comment, where are you guys from? Okay, so that's the first thing I want y'all to do. Tap in. Let me see what's going on. See. Okay, we got Atlanta, DC, California, Baltimore, everything. Okay, we got everything going on. Idaho, Wisconsin, DC, okay. Virginia, Mississippi, everywhere. All right, okay. So y'all already know the drill. It's what we gonna do. We're going to do a recap of last week's news, recap of trades I took, biggest movers and losers, data and important news, earnings, and then we're going to get into our watch list. So I know you guys, time is very important, so we're going to hop right into it and get started. So we're going to do something a little different, all right? So with today, we're going to talk about how to analyze a company. So it's this website called appeconomyinsights.com. So if you look here, this is Meta's Q3 income statements. So if you guys don't know, companies have to report their earnings 4 times a year because they are public. Okay, so when you own a public company, and you can even own like let's just say you have a board of investors and you started a business, you would also have to report your earnings to the board of investors. Now, could it be public? Depends on if you open it up to the public. Like, you know, people who start those funds, then of course they got to show the public some of the funds. It just depends on what level you're on. But we're on the IPO level, which is, you know, people who put it on the stock market. So initial public offering is what IPO stands for. And when you IPO, you are pretty much taking your company public, and then you have to report your earnings. So let's look at Meta's earnings. These are the top ways they make their money: Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, and WhatsApp. So these are the top 4 ways that they make their money. So they make most of their money from advertising. They made $33 billion from advertising. Family of apps, FOA. Okay. So they brought in revenue. They made $34.1 billion of revenue, but it's not about how much you make, it's about what you keep. But at the end of the day, they net profited $11.6 billion out of $34 billion. So in my eyes, that's pretty good. That's like a 34% margin. So yeah, in their 30, that's what it says right here, 34% margin. So that is pretty good, because a lot of companies don't have this, and you're going to see what I talk about when we look at other companies. But yes, look at how much stuff comes out. It costs $6.2 billion and it costs $14 billion. So it costs to make that revenue this $6.2 billion. That could be a range of things. Operating expenses also, taxes, everything you could think of comes out, right? So yeah, like that's what it. So at the end of the day, they make 34 billion, but they net profit 11.6 billion. And then let's go look at Amazon. And this is what I say: it's not about how much you make; it's about what you keep. Because think about it, Amazon made 143 billion in 1 quarter. That means 3 months, right? 90 days. So in 90 days, 143 billion, correct? And then their gross profit is about 68.1 billion, but they have a 7% margin because they're only profiting roughly 10 billion out of that. So they're bringing in 143 billion, but only profiting 10 billion. So that's 7% margin. So that's what I say. Meta has a 34% margin and Amazon has a 7% margin because, of course, they have cost of sales, operating expenses, fulfillment costs 22.3 billion. So that's why they're always firing employees because that's a lot of money they're spending just on the fulfillment centers, technology and content, 21.2 billion. It's a lot that's coming out. Taxes, 2.3 billion in a quarter. So that's a lot of money coming out. You know, so every company is looking for ways to increase their profit margin. So margin is about what you keep after everything. So that's very important no matter what. It's not about how much you make, it's about what you keep. And then if we look at Microsoft, they have a 40% margin. That is a great company. LinkedIn makes a lot of money. Their cloud computing makes a lot of money. 48% operating margin, 54% comes from the LinkedIn and Microsoft 360. So and then Xbox, 31% comes from Xbox and all of that more personal computing things, right? So at the end, they're banking a 40% margin. So you always got to learn that. The new word you need to learn is margins. What are their margins? Meta has a 34%. Microsoft has a 40% margin. That is insane. Bringing in 56.5. So think about it. Amazon brings in more money, but they keep less. Amazon brings in 143 billion, but only keeps 10 billion of that. Versus everybody else, they have a 10% margin while everybody else has 40s and 30% margin. That is excellent if you are a business. It's probably why Bill Gates said the hell with this. This is on autopilot. Okay, and then we have Alphabet. Alphabet has a 26% margin. So surprisingly, Microsoft has made the most money this quarter and has the highest margin. Great company, slept on company. Everybody's focused on Google, Meta, and Amazon and all that. We got to go check Apple's too. I'll post that next week. What is Apple bringing in? But YouTube is bringing in a lot. Their ads, Google Play, Google Cloud. I mean, Google is profitable in like 4 things. That is amazing. Google Cloud, Google Play, and they have 20 billion that they made this quarter. So yeah, quarter 3, well, last quarter. So we're on the 4th quarter now. We got to see what everybody's going to do this quarter. So that's a great one. Make sure y'all check out that app. And if they have a subscription and you really enjoy looking at companies, because I pay for the subscription just so I could see which companies are profiting, because I love studying businesses. And studying businesses, the more you do it, the better you get at it. So of course, this is some gains from this month still. I showed these gains last week, but they're still amazing. So this is just a showcase of what can happen when you tap in with Honey Drip. Good things can happen. All right, consistency and good profits. Okay, so make sure you tap in. So I went 8 for 12 last week. Wasn't my best week. I lost 4. But 8 for 12 still really isn't that bad. I just don't like to lose at all. So that's just my mantra. I don't like to lose at all, even though. So I like to lose maybe twice a week, but 4 times is just way too many, So yeah, make sure you tap in if you really want to get my signals. I plan on doing a great job next week, even though we have lots of earnings, lots of economic data, things like that. We're going to have to day trade most of next week. And, hindsight's 2020. To avoid those 4 losses, I should have day traded all last week. But still, hitting 8 for 12 still really isn't bad. Not pretty. That's like a 70% win rate, 60% win rate, something like that. So not bad, but it's all good. All right, so tap in, click the link in the description, and you guys are golden. Also sign up for my 2K to 10K challenge. I am starting over at 2K starting Monday, so that's going to be amazing. And all I'm going to do is tell you exactly the contracts I'm buying and everything I'm doing. All right, so make sure you tap in. We're going to talk about the strategies in my group chat privately, so it's going to be dope. Can't wait to show you guys that. Tap in. Link in the description. Biggest movers and losers. All right. So RTX was the biggest mover of this week. Verizon moved. Alibaba moved. IBM moved. Not that much, but something. Amazon moved because of earnings. And then the ones that lost was UPS, which is the one that I plan on buying on the dip. Google also looks pretty good on the dip. Everything else kind of shaky, but UPS is a great company. I got to go look at their margins though, of course. So data and important news, okay? So no major reports scheduled. Jobs and unemployment. I know Powell is speaking. Yep, Wednesday. Wednesday is going to be, a tough day. Powell is speaking on Wednesday. We have lots of earnings though coming up, but Wednesday is the most important one that I'm looking forward to. When Powell speaks, that will affect the market. And then you have lots of earnings. Apple has earnings Thursday. That you see, that's the first one I see out of all this. I'm looking for that big old Apple. And everything I'm using right now are Apple products, so that's pretty dope. A little bit of Sony, and it's kind of cross, I ain't gonna lie to you. We got Square Block has earnings Thursday. AMD will affect NVIDIA. McDonald's has earnings before open on Monday. SoFi, they own that stadium in Cali, LA. Well, sponsored. Eli Lilly, Shopify, PayPal. It's a lot of big players that have earnings. JetBlue, Caterpillar. It's another one I would be interested in seeing. So yeah, this is a very crazy. Airbnb has earnings as well. Can't wait to see those profit margins. Now let's get into this watch list, all right? So I hope you guys are enjoying this so far. We're going to head over, get into this watch list real quick. And then I want to let you guys be on your way out. If my charts will load. I think I got to go here. Okay, there we go. Google Chrome said not today. It's all good. So let's talk about it, folks. So hindsight is always 20/20, correct? So let's talk about what happened. For one, we had this big trend line. This is SPS. Let's go to SPY. We had this huge trend line that broke right here on this candle, but it looked like it was going to hold support whenever it broke. And then it looked like it was going to hold the 200 in May, and we were going to get another leg up. And you never fight the trend. So fighting the trend is risky, and if it works, it works. But more than likely, you always stick to the trend until the trend breaks. Now the trend is bearish, and we're also oversold on the RSI. So as you know, historically, SPY always bounces whenever it is oversold on the RSI, as you guys can see. So it bounced here, went up a little bit. Now it's dropping here, and it's oversold on the RSI at a key level. So this level right here, as you can see, we had bounces from, we had rejects from it, and then another bounce here from it. And now we're right here at this key level of 410, 411-ish area while being oversold on the RSI. So it's kind of tricky. You can day trade here. More than likely, based on technicals, people buy the dip. Usually when SPY is at this green line, as you can see, this green line is very important. Lots of stocks are oversold. Does not mean they can't fall lower, but a relief bounce could be in the near future. We have earnings coming up. We really have to see. But if I were everybody, for the most part, I would day trade. And, you know, just all depends if you got the time and patience or if you want to average into some lows. But we broke support here, so that's not a good sign. And usually you're supposed to keep selling whenever that happens. QQQ was actually one of the best support breaks, period. If you look at this pink line, I know it's kind of hard to see. Let me delete all of these drawings real quick. I got way too many drawings. Let me delete some of these EMA so you guys can really get a clear chart. So let's talk about it. QQQ had a clean break. So like I said, hindsight will always be 2020. Well, we being technical. This was the trend line, and then it came back up, came down from there. Yeah, so QQQ technically never really went past it, and this was a good, honestly, the best time to reject was there. That was a great rejection. Sometimes you got to get back out, chart, delete all the stuff you see, and then you can really get a clear movement of it. But yeah, like that right there was the end of it up here. This was a great short for QQQ. Excellent short. Thing is tanking. Tesla oversold on the RSI once again for the second week in a row. It bounced. We actually caught that bounce, and then we exited at the right time. But, you know, who knows what the market wants to do? We have a lot of factors that can affect the market. If inflation does not ease, if Powell says, hey, we're going to increase the inflation again, who knows what type of news can drop Wednesday, which could either make or break the market. So like I said, you cannot predict the market. I know you guys are like, hey, tell me which way it's going. No one can technically predict it. You can only make high probability setups, and I guess you can say a great educated guess. But Tesla is also oversold in the RSI, which is, you know, dip worthy. QQQ, nothing really dip worthy for buying until we get about in this area, maybe literally $10 down. I don't see anything worth buying. SPY looks like a buy, but QQQ doesn't really have a buying point to about right here. So that's something to look forward to as well. Looks like we could come down a little bit more. Day trading. But QQQ, Tesla, could it come down more? It could. I mean, it's at a key level. So we honestly have to see. Amazon was literally the only bullish one, but Apple, this one has the most bullish setup. They do have earnings on Thursday, but it does appear that this thing could be a bullish setup here. Almost looks like a falling wedge. Third touch of support right here. Could honestly bounce. Could it keep falling lower? It could break support, but more than likely it looks like it's holding this thing pretty well. Third touch of support here. Excellent sell with a bullish engulfing. I mean, not a bullish, but a bearish engulfing on the third trend line support touch. So yeah, this is very high probability sell right here. Hindsight's 2020, as we can see there. So yeah, Apple, great sell. Telling you, you cannot miss a beat in this market, because if you do, you know, it's things like that can happen where you miss certain entries to you know, buy or sell, you know. AMD, same thing. Is holding support so far. So my top watches would probably be Apple, Tesla. I would say Apple will be my top watch to see if it bounces from support here. I would say Tesla and SPY to see if we hold this 410. And we're oversold on the RSI. But other than that, I'm not really watching anything outside of those three. All right, so make sure you guys tap in. sign up for the small account challenge, only $35. If you don't pay me, you will eventually pay that $35 to the market or even more. All right, the market will take it. So you can try this on your own, or you can rock with your boy and I can show you how to do this and my strategies. God bless you guys. I'm Aristotle and I'm out.